Hi, everyone. I hope that you are joining me, and hopefully some of you will join me in the studio soon. But yes, I'm Lyndon Thorpe, and this is the Millionaire Mindset Breakthrough. And today is event 3. And today we're going to look at unleashing your potential. Sounds exciting, doesn't it? Let's just wait for one or two more people to come, give them a little bit of leeway. But I've started recording, so there we are. And this recording will be available, um, and we will put it onto YouTube too. So, welcome everybody. This series, this cycle of events, I ran last year over the late summer, early autumn period, and now we're starting running these events again. There are 13 of them, and we are going to keep going with them. And I'm building up material all the time. Hello, Anne. Welcome. Welcome.
I'm sorry I'm a bit late there. I was on
Oh,
another.
don't worry. Lovely to see you. How are you?
I'm fine, still running around, but I'm
Good,
trying my
good.
best to make
Good
more
for you.
time.
Good for you. Oh, well, we've got lots of people expected, but they're rather slow coming. So, but you know Natasha, don't you? Natasha is my lovely assistant.
Mhm.
So she's here to help me out. Um, and I believe quite a few people will come, but
Hi,
for
Anne.
for some
Hi,
reason,
nice to meet you.
there you
Hi.
are. Good, good, good. Okay, yeah, there. um, so yes, we are we're going to look at unleashing your potential tonight. Maybe I don't need to tell you about this, but it would be very interesting to have your input on it,
There's always
because
something to learn, and different people have different views, and
yeah,
we forget things, and you can revisit the same information even and see it differently a second, third, fourth time. I've been doing that for years, so.
yes, absolutely, yeah. And yeah, I'm going to talk very much from the kind of spiritual point of view, if you like, which may be interesting and different for you, hopefully, anyway.
Good.
Okay, so I think maybe we better get started. My idea is to give a short presentation about my ideas, and then if we have enough people, we can have a discussion and see where that takes us. I'd also like to try and do a little mindful practice in this session, but really it depends on who comes and what happens. So let's get started. I'll share my screen. I've already introduced the event, so I'll just share my screen and give you a very short presentation as to fill you in on my ideas. Okay, so yeah, today event 3 is called Discover Your Millionaire Potential, and I'm very proud of our lovely flyer here, which Natasha created. It's lovely. I've had such a lot of compliments about this, Natasha. You're right. She said, "Oh, we want to use this. This is trendy," and it sure is. Had quite a few comments yesterday about it. It's great. So yeah, this is event 3. And it's called Unleashing Your Unique Gifts. Okay. And I'm Lyndon Thorpe, unless if you haven't met me before, I'm Lyndon Thorpe. So, first of all, I want to invite you to join my mailing list. Of course, I want to keep contact with you if you've registered for this event, because I can put lots of other tips and transformation strategies and so on your way if you sign up. So it's very simple, lindythorpe.com. But this will be in the follow-up mail that you'll get if you registered, along with the replay, etc. And if you sign up for my mail address, then you'll get some free video training, which will introduce you to the world of business. Or maybe you're already introduced to the world of business, but it will introduce you to the future of business, which is going to be working for ourselves. The 9 to 5 traditional model is crumbling away. By 2030, something like 25% of the American workers will be using gig economies, gig jobs. They won't be working 9 to 5. Or maybe they'll have a side hustle and a part-time job. So things are really changing. And this is why I'm giving you this information and why I'm doing this series of events to inform you of what is possible for the future. Now, yes, you'll get the 5 video training, free training, and it's called the Anti-9 to 5 Income Plan. And Michael Cheney, who is my mentor, I've been with him for almost a year now. Well, no, for a year, just a year, is a master marketer. And he's also devised an amazing way of making income from the internet, passive income, but not only passive income, all sorts of ways of making income from the internet so that we can live our ideal life, which I'm doing right now and have been doing since I joined him. I've received passive income every single week since I became his apprentice. So it's all very exciting and very possible. So yeah, please sign up and then you'll get lots of nice emails from me. Just remind you about the training there. Oh, now this is a very heartfelt image here, which I created using AI. I didn't expect it to be quite so shocking, but really it is. That humanity knocked down to its lowest level, I think. Poor thing. Anyway, why we're here? Why are we doing this event? Well, it's really true. And I talk to professionals all the time here on LinkedIn and not on LinkedIn, other professionals too, who really don't estimate their potential at all. They do their 9 to 5 job, they follow the orders, they get promoted, and then they retire, you know? So many professionals do not really know their potential, and it is certainly not realized. And they leave the wealth that could be theirs untapped. Ah, here's Annette. Oh, great. Let's let Annette in. Welcome, Annette. Come and join us. I give her time to settle in. Another reason we're here is the goal of this session really is to help you identify and then leverage your unique strengths. Now, you may say, oh, but I've got a full-time job and I'm, earning money and so on. But really, are you using your strengths? Are you using your passions? Okay, so I want to try and help you to identify them. Hi, Annette, welcome. And then thirdly, the other reason we're here is hopefully by the end of this session, you're going to have some kind of action plan to start turning your gifts. And I'm someone who really believes every single human being has incredible gifts. We all have unique DNA. We all have 100% evolved bodies. The human body is a miracle, really, and it's 100% evolved at this stage. We have all the potential in the world, but we don't recognize maybe our gifts. And I hope this session will help you to do that. If you have any questions, please jot them down, and we'll talk later about them. I look forward to that. So yeah, today I'm going to give you this short presentation to put you in the picture with my ideas, and then hopefully I'm going to give you a little bit of experience of mindfulness, my type of mindfulness, which is basically Buddhist. I'm a Buddhist priest. I'm a meditation teacher and a mindful educator. So I'm quite experienced at guiding people into a mindful space. So although you may have had lots of different experiences with mindfulness, I think my brand might be a little bit different. Anyway, we'll see. Then we can do some brainstorming. I'm going to ask you about your gifts. You may have questions. And then hopefully I'll be able to give you something to take away from this event, and maybe some next steps for you. And I can also offer you some free audits where I can look at your strategies and your skills and see how they match up with a future millionaire pathway. Okay. By the way, I'm a careers advisor, and I've been involved in a lot of implementation of new jobs. By 2030, there will be 400,000 new jobs that have never existed before. This is because of AI. It's quite fascinating. The competencies, I'm very involved in the competencies that are coming our way very soon. Okay, just to get the juices flowing, I've got a few questions for you to think about. This is over to you now. Yeah, do you know anyone exactly like you? This is maybe an interesting question. You may have friends and you have a lot in common, but are they exactly like you? Okay, let's just think about that. And then a really important question is, what do you excel at? And when do you feel most engaged? And it may not be in your career. It may not be in what you're doing now. It could be something totally different. If you think about your life, when are the moments in your life when you feel happiest and most engaged? Okay, that's maybe an interesting question for you. And yeah, I'm hoping you'll share some of your dreams. I think human beings thrive on having secrets and maybe dreams. It keeps us going. It keeps our spirits going. And you may have several secret dreams, and maybe I can coax you to share them here. It's a very safe environment here. So yeah, what are your dreams? And have you considered that maybe they are possible and they could come true? So yeah, just think about those three questions. And if you can, just go to the chat and jot something down in the chat if you'd like to. Okay, and I'll look at those in a moment. Let's just go on a little further. Now, let's look at reality as well. This does matter. We have to know what the situation really is. 62% of employees feel disengaged in their jobs. This is a very recent Gallup poll. 62% of the people canvassed said they were not interested in their jobs at all. They just did it because they needed the money. And 40% are actively looking for ways to monetize their skills online. So already this incredible revolution is well underway. You know, even college students are now looking for side gigs whilst they learn, earn while they learn. This is quite a trendy thing now. So Yeah, this indicates what the reality is. And yes, as I mentioned before, the future of work is shifting wildly. And we have no choice really but to design our own pathway. And that's what I've done after retiring from 50 years as a mindful educator. I retired and then I started to really question what I wanted to do with the rest of my life. So, my main question here is what if you could leverage your skills for financial success, for real success? Okay. And one way to do this, and I've been running some polls recently on LinkedIn, you may have seen, is to try to get in touch with your hidden strengths. And I'm going to call these wealth building assets. Okay. So, one might be that you're a problem solver. Yeah, that might be your talent. I am, definitely. I love solving problems, and people come to me and ask me to solve their problems quite often. So, this is all about seeing opportunities and being challenged and enjoying being challenged, which I certainly do. Another one is communicating and storytelling. Yeah, story is so important. And yeah, we can make a huge income from storytelling. My mentor, Michael Cheney, is a superb storyteller, and all his millions, he's a multimillionaire, have been made from storytelling. That's what he does. And mainly he communicates via email. So that's another asset. Maybe you're very analytical and strategic, which is superb. We need that in our lives. You can plan ahead and you can optimize and so on. And maybe you're a leader or a mentor and you enjoy elevating others. And you can build wealth and do this too. And then finally, which strength resonates most with you? If you want to write this down or drop it in the chat, please do. We'll talk about it in a moment. Which of these strengths is yours? Or maybe you have two or three. I would say that I'm a problem solver, I'm a communicator and storyteller, and I'm a leader and mentor. I'm also analytic. I can be analytic, but I think my real strengths are problem solving and storytelling, really. Okay, I'm going to give you now a couple of quotes which always set me alight. The privilege of a lifetime is to become who you really are. Yes, unfortunately, in society, we have to wear certain masks to be accepted, to get on in life, and so on. But how often can we really be who we are? And this is all about true nature, which is why I have this meditational picture here, which I created, which is a very Buddhist idea that we have our Buddha nature. I'll talk about that a little more in a moment. Jung said this, as you maybe know. And another really wonderful quote that I love is Ayn Rand, who I really admire. And she said, every man, every human is an end in himself, not a means to an end of others. And he or she must live for his or her own sake. And so she believed very much, as I do, that true happiness is our kind of moral duty in a way. We must be happy in this life. And there are many ways we can do this. Okay, let's move on. I'd like to just quickly talk about some people I've mentored who have done extraordinary things by using or sharing their life experience. I had a friend who had terrible insomnia. She talked to me and she said, I I can't sleep, I can't cure this, I don't know what to do. So I talked to her and I said, look, you know, many other people suffer from insomnia. Why don't you make a website and why don't you help them? Her eyes lit up, and that's what she's doing right now. She's running a really successful website. She's got lots of clients that she advises about sleep. And she cured her own sleep problem very successfully. And so now she advises others. And she also recommends therapists to help with this. So that's one very successful business that came from just a life experience, no special training, nothing special really, just a problem which she overcame and then wanted to help. Another friend of mine, one day she was lost. She didn't know what she wanted to do with her life. Young children and beginning to emerge from, busy life as a mother. I said, well, what's the most important thing in your life? What do you love best? When do you feel at your best? When do you feel engaged? Didn't take her long to say, oh, children. Children are everything to me. This is when I'm happiest, when I'm around children. And she told me next that she was planning to adopt 3 children from China, Korea, and Myanmar, 3 orphans. And she did. She went ahead and adopted them. She's now got 7 children to look after. And she's made a fabulous website. And she's now a quite well-known advisor on adoption. You probably know how complex it can be to adopt. So that's another tremendous example. RV, yeah, another good friend. Her husband was always away because he traveled all over the States and she missed him. And when he retired, he still wanted to carry on working. And so they decided to buy an RV and go around the whole country, the whole of the States, living in their lovely RV. And she started a website about her travels, various sites, various products, and she's now earning really good income as an affiliate marketer for all of those things that RV people need. And then finally, another good friend whose whole family suffered from diabetes told me one day she'd learnt so much about all the dietary aspects, etc. And what should she do? So I said, well, let's get you a website, let's get you out there. And she's now running really successful business, providing recipes, providing guidance and counseling, and also products which she can make an affiliate commission from. So these are just some of the examples I've experienced. So yeah, basically, my main website is called First Hand Life because when I retired and began to recover, I realized that I had been living a second-hand life. I had put everybody else before me. And when I retired, it hit me right in the diaphragm, you know. Wow, I've spent all this time empowering other people and really neglecting me. And although I always loved my students loved me, and we always had a great time, and there was much to learn, I did neglect me. And so I decided I would start a website called First Hand Life. And this site is for newcomers to internet business. And it provides all the kind of structure to help them get started. And I can help them to create a website very easily as well. I'm quite a skilled digital literacy person too. So First Hand Life, this is where you center your values, and you don't compromise them. You don't sacrifice. You are centered on yourself. And you can transition, as I did, from your second-hand life to your first-hand life. And it really is the most exciting journey I've ever made. And I've traveled a lot. It is a fantastic journey of self-discovery. And you get unique insights into life, which you never would in any other situation. And this, of course, builds your confidence, builds your self-esteem, and so on. So this transformation, of course, in this short session, I don't have so much time to go into the real detail of it, but just to give you an idea, how can you turn your strengths into a business model? Well, first of all, you've got to identify it. What are you naturally great at? But more importantly, what do you enjoy? You may be great at something, but you don't really enjoy it. You don't get engaged with it. You have to validate. So somehow you have to match the skills or your talents or your propensities or whatever you'd like to call them to real world problems. And I can tell you the most successful businesses of all are all about helping people. Yeah, that should be your motivation if you're setting up a business, to help others. So you identify and you validate, and then you can start to monetize. And you can package this expertise, this talent, this gift, whatever you want to call it, into a service or into a product. And then you can scale it and you can grow and automate it and get a consistent income. And this is how millionaires create their success. Success doesn't go in a straight line. It goes up and down, up and down. And it's a very difficult thing to pin down, actually. I'll talk more about that in a moment. No, so I've mentioned my story a little bit, and hidden potential is what I'm really interested in. And now I can prove to you that you can make an income from your hidden potential, and that this fits in beautifully with our very uncertain future in the job market. And yeah, I can truthfully say that once I'd shifted my mindset and I'd embraced a lot of business strategies from Michael Cheney, my mentor, everything changed. I think I'm a really different person now. So yeah, what's holding you back from your breakthrough? Nothing could hold me back, and I'm loving every moment of it. Just a quick look at my 4 websites. In the last 9 months, I've created 4 websites. One is Buddhist, about wealth. One is for millionaires. One is for digital nomads. And the other one is First-Hand Life, which I've just talked to you about, for newcomers to business. So you can see those in the flip book that you'll get in a moment. I also wanted to tell you about my mindful moments on Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday, excuse me, on LinkedIn. Excuse me. I run a 20-minute mindful session. On a Tuesday is one, which is really the art of detecting resonance. On Wednesday is anchoring the breath and realizing that now and here are in this very moment. And on Thursday, I talk about the spine. I'm an Alexander teacher as well as a mindful educator. So I talk very much about the core of you. So please come and join me if you want to develop your mindful practice. So yeah, your action plan, your next steps. Well, yeah, in a moment we'll do this. We'll reflect on your strengths and passions. And then secondly, you need to identify how to monetize them. And there are many ways to do that with coaching and so on. And then the third step is to take one small action today. So, you know, maybe you say, oh, yes, I'll do that tomorrow. A lot of people say that to me about mindfulness. Oh, I really want to be mindful. I'll do it tomorrow. But you have to do it now. You have to seize the moment and do it today. Okay. So, yeah, you might want to develop a mindful foundation or write a post or create an offer or test an idea. And these small actions make big transformations. So I'd like to invite you to go deeper. And of course, I've used the well-known image of an iceberg. You can join the Millionaire Mindset Breakthrough community. We're building up quite a lot of people on our mailing lists and so on. If you want more guidance, you can join some of my trainings. And today I'm giving you a little bonus. I've created a Discover Your Unique Potential Guide. And of course, you can get my 5-video training. And you can register for the next session. You can do that now if you like with Natasha, if you haven't done already. And yeah, please drop something in the chat if you're ready to take action today. A fire burning, a flame would be a good thing. So yeah, this is the end of my Unleashing Your Unique Gifts Event 3 presentation. And I'm Lyndon Thorpe. And I'll come back to you now. Okay. Okay, so those are my ideas. And I'd love you now to open up your microphones. And Annette, can you open your video? Are you decent? Or do you prefer not to? There you are. Good. I always think when people don't open their videos, they've probably got their curlers in or their,
No, I wanted to just show up today because I'm not really available normally. I cancelled something. It's a course I'm doing. It's a community group on gardening, a gardening center, just people meeting in the library. And I want to learn a few things. So for the next 7 weeks, actually, I'm not available, but I didn't want to miss the opportunity of being part of this. So my apologies for being late. And
no,
if you don't mind me coming a little bit late every time, I can still come. But
super,
it's a bit difficult, because I'm committed to the other thing.
Yeah.
It's only temporary.
Yes.
And I think yours is going on for a long time. So
until I drop. Yes.
Amen. So, yeah, I'm really very happy to meet you. And Anne, hello, and Natasha. Hello, Natasha.
Yes.
Yeah, I'm so happy to have met Lyndon because every time you open your mouth, Lyndon, I get a feeling. Do you know, I'm not an Alexander teacher, but I used to have an Alexander teacher that I went to for many years.
Oh, really?
Almost everything you mention is something I've experienced. And this is why, as a well-being coach and a meditation teacher, which I am, and all those other things, I always feel that what I have is that lived experience of having not just read about it from Tony Robbins, but, I have been dedicated to, I'm the sort of person who loves practices, because the Alexander technique, it was something that went on for many years till my friend passed away.
Oh, really?
And she also introduced me to the philosophy organization in London as well. So I got involved in that. So, everything you say, it just makes me go back to the point of this unconscious community, that when you meet somebody of a similar generation, sometimes you've had the same experience and you're never more than 6 steps away from the person you
Well, that's very true with ours, isn't it? Really is. We've got very similar pathway, yeah. And then the other interesting thing is that Anne and I were born about how far? About 5 miles away from each other, maybe.
Wow.
And here I am in Japan. She's in England. And that is another extraordinary coincidence. And I kind of know all the things she talks about because I was there,
So what about Natasha?
Well,
Where are you?
Natasha, yeah, Natasha, show yourself, my dear. She is my assistant. Natasha is my remote executive, without whom I could not survive. She helps me so much with everything. There she is.
Nice to see
Hi,
you.
same here. Thank you for coming.
Yeah.
Oh, I love it. I love it. Immediately I finished with you, Lyndon, I found myself signing up for a couple of things, but as I did mention to you, I wear so many hats that having signed up for, I think, 2 little packages there, I haven't returned to it yet. Last week was all about, in UK, trying to get the tax done before the
Oh,
31st.
yeah. Yes.
Trust
yes,
me,
Yes.
I was caught up in that, not just for myself, but for my husband. And so I definitely, I could do with some help from you, because again, you've taught for 50 years, I taught for 40 years, I've been retired for 10.
Yes.
So again, we probably started teaching at the same time in the
Yes.
70s. So
Yes.
we've got so much. It's just making me think that God has brought me to this place where, you know, I'm in agreement with somebody without even explaining why I'm in agreement. And that is magic. That is total magic. So
Super, yes.
I
Yes.
need the
is
support
indeed.
I need is really feeling that I have a sort of mentor who is further along the road, because my main gap is that digital thing of trying to monetize my expertise, which is the teacher, the supporter. And for me, it's making people feel good about themselves. I always said that that is my major thing. As a teacher of the deaf, what I always wanted with my deaf pupils is to make them feel good about themselves. And the best part of the week was always Monday morning, when we would have the time where they would tell us what they did at the weekend, and each individual took the stage. And for them, it was the time when, oh my God, where nobody really took much notice of them, but then they had the stage to talk about going to the park, getting an ice cream, and then doing this and then doing that without interruption.
Super.
I think there's so much power in allowing a person to bring out what they want to share.
Absolutely.
So how can I monetize it? That's the help I've been needing from someone like yourself.
Right. Well, yes, let's talk about this, because that's exactly what I do and what I have done for many years, actually, because in Japan, just a little bit of information about Japan, which I presume you don't know much about.
I don't know.
No, in Japan, there is really a very big problem with the education system here. Really a big one, because the students are not taught, they are talked to by researchers. The teachers in Japan take a 2-week license. As a teacher, I trained for 4 years in education.
Exactly.
You know, 2 weeks. And so in Japan, if you go into any kind of classroom, and I've been all over Japan, and I've visited all levels of education, every single classroom, the teacher talks and the students are completely passive. Now, we might say that silence is a virtue. Of course it is, but they never, ever get a chance to express anything. And we also have a cultural problem here, because Japanese people read the air. You've probably heard about this. They read the air. So when they meet somebody new, they read the air. They don't communicate. They don't, as we all would. They don't use their eyes and their hands and say, "Oh, I'm Lyndon. What's your name?" You know, they don't do any of that. They read the air in silence. So this really puts them at a disadvantage in terms of communication, global communication. So for the last 15 years, I would say, in Japan, I've been teaching students real world skills. Maybe you've read about real world skills. I mean, I know they are taught in some cases in England, but here they are really what they say they are. I had to teach everything. They couldn't use computers. We have a reputation of having high technology here. Yes, we do. We have very advanced technologically, but only phones. Students are brilliant with phones. Their thumbs are like kind of crazy. They can do anything on a phone, but put them in front of a computer screen and they cry. They're absolutely terrified. They're technophobic. Yeah. So I've been teaching digital skills for a long time in English, which is my main speciality, English as an academic language. And so, yeah, I really sort of right in the groove as far as digital literacy goes. And that is one of my things. I run webinars for digital literacy, because unless you've got those skills, it's really difficult to start, as you say, Annette, to start to package your gifts and to really move with the times. And of course, AI is the thing now. And yeah, Annette, she bought a couple of packages from Michael Chaney that are wonderful AI tools. And I will show you how to use those very, very easily and quickly. So yeah, I have all that knowledge and all that know-how, if you like. And so I'm really keen to help, especially the younger generation, because I think the screen babies, the millennials and the next generation too, are really going to have such a hard time in the future. The job market is collapsing. They have to be independent. They have to have this incredible independence. They will no longer be able to, go and qualify and then be sure of a job. It's not going to be like that any longer. They have to get independence in all aspects of their skills, digital, communication, etc. And so, yeah, I'm really keen to help as many younger people as possible. So I do run webinars from time to time, and I'll certainly let you know about that, Annette. But anyway.
Oh, definitely. And anything, I think people like me are not really noticed, because obviously everything I need to do involving scanning documents, doing everything for myself, I'm an expert at that, because obviously from my teaching days, we became paperless anyway.
Yes.
And I'm doing everything, but the gap that I have is, I really don't want to laugh. When you talk about Japan, there are other countries like Japan. I won't mention what they are, but maybe Natasha will know where I mean. But where people can actually get exams just by knowing the theory of something. And in my case, what I need is, if you wanted me to write about, what is LinkedIn about, what is Facebook, I can write pages. But where the gap is without another person being involved, can I take an action on those platforms with confidence? And the answer is no. And it's because there's a part of me, and that's the teacher persona, who is afraid of making a fool of herself, afraid of making a mistake.
Yes.
So that has stood in the way of my progress, because I've pitched it too high. I'm thinking, people expect more of me. I should be able to do this because I can read about it. I can answer a question and get an exam maybe 90%, But to physically go and do it,
Mm.
that is where my gap is. I just hope you can understand what it is, because
I do. And you're not
yeah,
not
before
alone.
COVID, I was doing face-to-face workshops as a meditation teacher. I think I mentioned to you,
Yes.
London Over 50s Meditation and Life Mastery.
Yes, you
I
did.
don't have a problem with engagement if the people are in front of me. The question is, how can I translate that online? Because I don't think it's sad to say this, I'm a realist. The problem that people like myself would have, and the clients I'm searching for, is that we planned everything very well before we retired. We got everything sorted, but now the rules have changed. So, for example, I do not want to go back to the classroom to be a teacher.
No.
But my savings are being dwindled because the cost of living is 3 times what I planned for.
Yes.
I don't know, just the energy, which used to be about £58 a month, is now 325 a month. And I don't have access to funds from anywhere.
No.
So I'm actually looking for paid work and international coaching clients for well-being, etc. Yeah, that's what I'm looking for. And of course, my skincare product.
Oh, yes, your skincare product. Yes. Yes, I'm sure Natasha can join in this conversation because she is in Nigeria right now, aren't you? And
I knew it.
yeah, there's a connection because your husband is Nigerian, I think, Annette, isn't he?
Not only that, I taught generations of Nigerians because I was in Nigeria before Natasha was born, 1979. I have taught
This is another
generations of Nigerians. I am a Lagos girl. I speak very good Pidgin English.
Oh, good.
And also, I taught at the British High Commission School, as well as Corona School, Victoria Island. So I was in Nigeria for 15 years. I'm not a newbie, and I love Nigeria. Of course, I love Nigerians. I have 2 Nigerian children. I still have the Nigerian husband, of course. Yeah, he's still hanging around, but I've got 2 Nigerian children, and I think I have the greatest love for Nigeria because for me, I always say I'm Nigerian by choice, because some people might be lukewarm about it because of whatever happened. But fortunately, God graced me and I had such a beautiful life. And that is the foundation of so much that I teach now, is the wonderful life I had in Nigeria.
Wonderful. This is another amazing connection, isn't it? Annette, we have these incredible connections. Yeah.
I just feel it's God. I'm a spiritual person. Every time you speak, you bring out something else. Like today, you brought out the Alexander. Oh, it was so good. Let me just tell you about the Alexander technique. What happened?
Okay.
Every year, because Nigeria and UK they have the same school year, I would come to London where my other family, my Caribbean family are. And of course, I've always been into health. So I discovered Alexander and I found a teacher. And every year, whenever I was on holiday, I would find myself in her front room where she had the table, the couch, and I would lie down and we would do it. And I would take my 2 children with me and they'd be running around and she'd be doing this. When we returned to Nigeria, do you know that I found myself living 2 minutes from her?
Oh,
Yes, I was living around the corner. She was on one street, I was on the other one.
wow.
And so from being the Alexander thing, she was also a teacher at a very famous private school called St. James's. You may have heard of it. They do not believe in mixed education. So there's a St. James's boys and there's St. James's girls. And they are the top echelon people who send their kids there. And she also introduced me to the Philosophy Society. So she became a mentor, a family friend. When my daughter was to go to university, because my daughter is a GP now, she said to me, "Oh, Annette, you know, Chinedu, the girls who come to us, because obviously we went to the local government schools, we didn't have any money. So it was just a local government school. She said to me that she's in this private school, and what they do for their students is that they've got connections. Don't we know it? They've got connections at St. Bart's. Would I like her to go and do some time there before going to medical school? Of course, I said yes. And so she spent a year at St. Bart's, although she wasn't from the private school. She was from the local government school. And those are the sort of things I got from somebody doing the Alexander. She was so good to our family because we needed that. And she just came, she did not have children of her own, but she just looked at my 2 children and took them on board. So I have so many nice thoughts about Alexander technique.
Well, yeah, it's an extraordinary, I don't know if Natasha knows, do you know about the Alexander technique? No, the Alexander technique is really all about your spine. And it's about using your mind to let me find the right word. It's hard to describe off the cuff, but it's using your mind to make space inside your body, basically. And so we, you know, in the mindful sector, we can use the mind to do all sorts of things, not just calculate and do all the intellectual things. But the technique is all about making space in your joints and along your spine so that you lengthen naturally without stretching. So it's non-doing. It's non-doing. You don't do anything. You've probably heard me use that word before, Natasha, when I've been doing the mindful practice thing. Non-doing. So you don't do anything. You simply are. And it's really an experiential thing too. You have to experience it. So one day I'm coming to Nigeria. I'm going to give you an Alexander lesson. Okay?
Thank you so much for giving me your time, both of you. I'm sure you've got other things, but do let me know when you will have a space to talk about maybe a strategy, how I can collaborate with. I'm really looking for older women for 2 things, for one-to-one coaching, and also women coming from abroad, like Nigeria, who can do a VIP day with me somewhere, where I will give them a whole day of breathing exercise, meditation, journaling, and then having a sort of objective for their lives, because time is always difficult, but they are the ones who still have money.
Right.
They still have money. And the thing about it is that there is what I like about all those overseas countries is that the women are not trying to be 25 when they're my age. There is honor in being an elder. And I am an elder, and I'm not going to come out in a bikini or a fashionable whatever. I'm going to come out maybe in a head tie or as I am. And there are women like that who still have a big contribution, like yourself, to make to the world. And I would like to teach them to breathe, the breathing exercises, the meditation, to share my spiritual practice with them and to have some goals. So I really want to set up a VIP day for people coming into London or doing it online.
Right.
Because time is always a problem, you see. So
Yeah.
a one day intensive VIP, and then accountability dropping in every so often, not trying to tie them into 12 sessions or something like that.
Okay.
I think I would be good at that.
Okay, I've got the hang of that now. Yes, let's talk about it and let me think about it. And
thank you very much. Thank you.
I'll be in touch with you. I can. The best way to get in touch with you is by DM, isn't it, on LinkedIn? Is that the best?
Well, yes. I don't know should I put my normal email in here?
Have I got it? Maybe maybe we've got it, Natasha, haven't we? From registration. Have we?
Yeah, we have.
We
I
have-
have an email, but I think she should drop the one that she responds to quickly.
That is the one. It's uniquewaya@yahoo.co.uk.
Yeah, we've got, I think I've got that here.
Yeah.
Yes, we've got it. Yes.
Yes, that's the one. That's my
.uk.
personal. So it's my surname, Unique and A for Annette, uniquea@yahoo.co.uk.
Yeah, we've got it.
Just let me know your availability and I will make myself available. Thank you very
Okay.
much.
Okay.
Thank you.
Well, maybe the best thing to do is why don't you look at my Calendly, which I believe you've still got probably,
Yes.
and book yourself in. And then we can if you give me a week, say, before you book yourself in, I'll get some ideas together, and there are a couple of other things I want to talk to you about anyway in terms of your
Oh.
future.
Thank you. Thank
So
you.
please book in, and we'll take it from there. Okay?
Thank you. Have a nice day, both of you.
So glad
Bye-bye.
you came. So glad
Yeah,
you came.
bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Wow. Oh, so there you are. Amazing coincidences now. Gosh, she's lovely. Yeah. And we've become great friends. How old do you think Annette is, Natasha?
She should be 60.
She's 80. She's 80. She's so genki. Yeah, 80.
Wow. She looks young.
Yeah, she looks so young, doesn't she? And she's got so much energy.
Yes.
She's
Wow.
going to keep going for the next 20 years, she said. So I feel the same. I'm not quite as old as her, but I'm getting there. So yeah, she's lovely, and I'm sure we can collaborate in the future. So I'll give her some time. Well, my dear, that was interesting. It didn't quite go the way I planned it, but we better stop the recording, hadn't we? Oh, stop the recording.
I think we should.